This is the latest iMac 27-inch, and it was just released this past week. I'm here at All Apple News and I'll help you decide if this is the right iMac for you. The new 2020 iMac is putting a lot of smiles on people's faces. The upgrade includes a new anti-glare nano texture glass display, an improved camera quality that's the same as the iMac Pro, enhanced 10th generation Intel Core processor, the next generation AMD Radeon Pro graphics card for those crisper images, and the option to get the fastest internet with the 10GB Ethernet port. Let's not waste any more time and let's dive straight into it one by one. Unfortunately, we didn't get it upgraded here, but the nano texture glass display is the latest feature on the new iMacs. Now, it was first previously seen on the Pro XDR display to maintain contrast while scattering light to reduce glare, as quoted by Apple. With the nano texture glass, you can say goodbye to the glare on your screen, and would highly recommend this to professionals editing pictures or videos, but you're going to have to fork out an extra $500 as it's not a standard feature. Moving on, there's also an update on the cam and the speaker. On the previous iMacs, the 720p camera was decent, but it couldn't capture the full details of your face for video calls, and honestly speaking, it was time for an upgrade. The new iMac now uses the same camera as the iMac Pro. While the 1080p camera is not amazing by today's standard, you can definitely see it's a significant improvement compared to the 720p. When making video calls on the new iMac, you'll also notice the improved audio quality. The stereo speaker amplifies the bass more, but personally I can't tell much of a difference because I use my AirPods Pros all the time. But for those who uses your speaker a lot, you may notice a difference in sound quality. Apple also upgraded the mics in the iMac with a studio quality 3 mic array. The sound quality is just like when you record in the studios, hence the name Studio Quality. For those who are aspiring to do YouTube, this iMac is probably enough to get you started. The iMac 2020 will capture everything at professional quality. Besides the screen and the sound quality, let's check out the upgraded processor. The iMac Pro has Apple's top-of-the-line technology, hence the crazy price point, you know. Anyways, you can now get that with a new iMac. The new processor surpasses the previous one as it uses the latest 10th generation of Intel's Core i9 processor. While the previous iMacs only uses the 8th or 9th generation, this means it offers a higher operation frequency that allows for overclocking once unlocked for greater CPU performance. Now, for those who are confused about what overclocking is, let me explain. Overclocking is when users increase the CPU speed originally set by the supplier. Blah 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 blah. Yes, I know it's a little bit boring, but you know, stay with me. Increasing the CPU speed will allow your device to perform more operations per second. Unless you think you'll need to multitask a lot, the iMac Intel 10 core processors are enough to support your usage. But let's not forget about the amazing graphics card update that pairs really nicely with the upgraded processor. Amazing graphics mean jaw-dropping visuals to stare at for hours on screen. In the latest iMac, the graphics card ranges from the Radeon Pro 5300 to the 5700 XT with 16GB of VRAM. It is the next generation of GPU-based rendering that is almost just as good as the iMac Pro, but cheaper. Instead of CPU-based rendering, the iMac can render games and applications up to 55%, which is faster than the previous generation of graphic cards. The new iMac graphic renders up to 45% faster in games like Total War 3 Kingdoms, and up to 30% faster in Final Cut Pro and Adobe Suite. If you use Adobe, you'll see and feel the difference when photoshopping, as the performance time to render and apply effects to your work is much faster on the iMac than your other PC devices. This iMac also doesn't disappoint when it comes to gaming. With the Radeon Pro 5700 XT card, you can play games as you would on a PC. But there's still a small limitation as the display caps at 60Hz per second. When gaming, the temperature of the iMac can still heat up and be concerning, but overall the software experience is faster and better than the previous model. Now, if you want to maximize the speed when connecting your Mac to another device, let's check out the new 10GB Ethernet cable. Previously reserved for only the iMac Pro, the iMac 2020 now has a built-in 10GB Ethernet port. The cable can move files faster than other cable connections, and this port is perfect for speeding up connection when transferring data from your Mac to another device at 10GB per second. This upgrade is perfect for anyone who is in a creative industry like photographers, videographers, or anyone in the media production industry. Also, to make sure all your data is secured, Apple added the new T2 chipset to the iMac 2020. The new T2 secure chip is Apple's custom designed second generation silicon that encrypts all your data on the SSD space, meaning anything you save on your SSD is securely saved and protected to prevent unauthorized access to your files. Apple also added an equalizer to the T2 chip to improve the sound you hear from the speakers. This means you get an improved sound quality experience that gives you a heavier bass, louder and better mids, in addition to having a secure SSD storage for all your data. So you might be wondering, is the new iMac 2020 worth it? Well, as mentioned at the beginning of this video, the iMac 2020 has a mixture of the previous model and the iMac Pro altogether. From anti-glare nano texture screen, the enhanced camera, studio quality mic, upgraded processor and graphics card, the new iMac 2020 saves your time waiting around to transfer files and speeds up everything you really want it to do. Compared to the iMac Pro's starting price of $6299, you can get similar features on the new iMac at a starting price of $1799. Regardless if you're using your iMac for school or work, the iMac's high performance will support you along the way with whatever you want to do, to help you present your best work without wasting your time. So, what do you think of the new iMac 2020? Do you think it's worth the purchase? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Like always, subscribe and don't forget to turn on your notifications to get the most out of us from all Apple news. I'll see you in the next video.